We are so much more powerful than we realize. Hello, magnificent human. My name is Maria Lise, and I wrote The Realm of Unity, a utopian fantasy or a guidebook home to yourself. How many times have you felt like you have no power in your life? Like, no matter how hard you try, you just can't make something happen? Or, what's the point? Or, I just have to make the best of my life. How many of you out there have ever said that to yourself or have heard somebody say that to you? This is what I want to talk to you about today, and it is the pervasive belief that we have no power. And I was speaking to my husband the other day about something that I wanted to do, and he says, "Yeah, that's not going to happen." And I know he didn't mean to step on my dream. I know he wasn't intending to dissuade me from something. It was just coming from his belief system. And I thought about this after a while and I says, wow, we have really been conditioned to believe that we're powerless, that we have no power, that we can't possibly affect change, that really we're just kind of stuck with this life that we've been given, and there's nothing we can do to make it any better. This is such a common belief. And I've certainly had it for the majority of my life, of where I have felt like no matter what I do, nothing was going to make any difference, or there was an upper cap, an upper limit to what I could have, or how much joy I could have, how much money I could have, how much goodness I could have in my life, that there's somehow, some universal force that's telling me how much or how little I'm allowed to have in this world. If you've ever felt that way, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know. I really love to hear from you. Um, but I want to bust this myth, because this is a conditioned mindset and this is not the truth. We are not these small little humans just trying to get by. And that is not who we are. That is not who we are meant to be. We are these powerhouses of incredible vitality and energy. And that vitality and energy has been lost to us. We have been lost in a dream, and we have been sold a bill of goods. We have been told lies after lies after lies. These lies are things like, you are weak. You are powerless. There's nothing you can do to change your situation. You might as well just give up. You should just make the best of it. You just have to do what you can do to get by. These are all lies that we have been sold. Most of us have accepted these lies as the truth. This is what we call a limiting belief, and perhaps you have heard this before. These beliefs that have been installed into our brain, and they come from everywhere. They come from well-intentioned people in our lives. They can come from our parents, from our teachers, from our doctors, from our religious leaders. They can come from anywhere and everywhere. From movies, we get it from the social media. It is pervasive, these programmed beliefs that we have installed into our neuronal networks. What I'm speaking of is not new information, but it does limit how we are able to move forward in this world, and how we can either build the world that we want and therefore hopefully create a more beautiful world for everyone. Because this is my belief. This is my passion. This is my heart. This is what wakes me up in the morning. and pushes me out of bed is my dream of living in a more beautiful world. And people call me nuts, delusional. I can even call myself a little bit delusional. Like, who am I to think this big? Who am I to believe that we can have a world that not only has no war, but has no poverty, and has beautiful food for everyone, and has clean air and perfect, pristine, crystalline water that we can drink and swim in and enjoy, and have perfect, abundant health and vibrancy in our body. This is what I am here for. This is what my heart is calling me to move towards. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I have a really big announcement. My companion novel to the Realm of Unity is about to be released. It is called Becoming Vita, and it is a story of trauma to transcendence, where a young woman on old Earth is longing for love, and she has to find her way to the utopian world of unity. I think you'll love it as much as I loved writing it, and I cannot wait to share it with you. And I am calling out, I am reaching out to all of those who want this too. And you might say, well, of course, who doesn't want that? And that might seem like a crazy question. Who doesn't want that? But when you really look at people's actions, that tells you a lot more about what they want. It is what they're choosing. And a lot of people say, well, it's not because I want that. It's because that's the only thing that is possible. But this is what I'm speaking about today, is how do we break free from these limiting beliefs that tell us what is and what is not possible? Hear me out. If we have the power to create this insanely limited world, if we have the power to create limitation, lack, poverty, disease, illness, war. I mean, we have the power to create all of that, and that's pretty big, and that's pretty horrific. That tells us something, that we actually have the power to create anything that we want. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, because there is something inside us that so desperately wants to break free, that so desperately wants to be seen, that so desperately wants to give something magnificent to this world. And we have been lied to about who and what we are. We have been lied to. When I was a child, I was sold this idea that the epitome of life is working a job that hopefully you like a little bit, for 40 hours a week, and hopefully one day retire with a decent enough retirement to be able to an occasional cruise around the Mediterranean. You know, this is not the kind of life that I want. I don't want to be working 40 hours a week at a job that is stressful. I don't want to be aiming my sights at the possibility of retiring at age 65 so I can take a cruise here and there. I want so much more than that. I want so much more than that for you, for me, for all of us. We all deserve an abundant, radiant life. We all deserve a life where we feel excited to jump out of bed every morning. We all deserve a life where we are giving something to the world that lights us up, that we're so excited to give to the world because it gives us purpose and meaning. We all have that desire to give. But many of us have forgotten that we even want that, because we're so busy just trying to figure out how to pay the bills, how to afford the food, how to pay rent. This is no way to live. Is there anybody out there who wants something different, who knows that something different is possible? Please do tell me, because this is all that I'm here for. I'm here to build a more beautiful world with anybody who wants to join me. This is my passion and this is my heart. And this is why I write. For those of you who don't know, I've been in healthcare for the majority of my adult life. I've worked in alternative healthcare as well as a hospital nurse. And I love helping people. It is a part of my mission in life to support people in finding optimal health, optimal well being. But recently, I started writing, and I have found that I love writing fiction and transformational fiction, which is everything I write is about helping us transform. So if you want a guidebook to help you transform and love reading fiction, then I invite you to read my book, The Realm of Unity. It is a beautiful book that takes you into an amazing world, and throughout, it shows you how to get there. I can't wait to share it with you. And if any of this was helpful, please like this video and subscribe and share it with others. And I hope this was helpful, and I send you so much love.